With the seventh selection in the first round of the 2021 OHL priority selection, the Flint Firebirds select Tristan Bertucci from the Toronto Marlboros U16.
The one area of our hockey club that we felt was very important to upgrade or add talent to was back on the blue line. And with Tristan, we feel we're getting one of the better defensemen that was available in the draft. This year's draft is probably one of the most unusual ones that we've had, in that we weren't able to go out and watch players play. So you rely on your scouts. You rely on your scouts' relationships with coaches, and everybody came back and gave Tristan Bertucci nothing but glowing reviews. So we felt that not only were we adding some size and some skill to our lineup, but obviously a very talented hockey player.
With the 14th selection in the second round of the 2021 OHL priority selection, the Flint Firebirds select James Krajovsky from the Toronto Titans U16.
Believe it or not, if somebody would have taken Bertucci before we did at number 7, the next guy up for us was Petrovsky. So when he was still available, when we selected in the second round, I almost fell off my chair. We were very happy. And again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? It all depends on what your needs are. And we had him rated very, very high, not only from a talent standpoint, but we had him rated very, very high in terms of defensemen that were available in the draft. We felt that he was one of the top 3 guys out there. And for us to be able to get him with the second round pick, we're hoping that this is a real strong foundation for us in terms of our blue line in the future. And obviously, James is a big part of that.
With the 7th selection in the third round of the 2021 OHL priority selection, the Flint Firebirds select Ethan Hay from the Waterloo Wolves U16.
What we're doing is we're, following, our goal of building our team through the middle. We feel that we got 2 good defensemen with our first 2 picks, and then the next best center iceman available for us was Ethan Hay. And like I said earlier, you rely very heavily on your scouts and the relationships that they have with different coaches. And we really think that Ethan Hay is a guy that he brings size again to our lineup, but he brings some skill. And so very, very excited to get Ethan to training camp. He's a player that we've got signed, and we're looking for, good things from him, not only in training camp, but again, he's a very strong part of our future here.
With the 18th selection in the third round of the 2021 OHL priority selection, the Flint Firebirds select Nathaniel Day from the Niagara North Stars U16.
Yeah, we're right in the middle, aren't we? We're talking about doing everything we possibly can to build our team through the middle. And, Nathaniel Day, we've got a scout in that area, and he's got good relationships with people in the area. And I had glowing reports on Nathaniel as a goaltender, and I think it's one of the most important positions in the draft. And I know a lot of people, they wait for a goaltender to be picked, and then all of a sudden you see a couple more going afterwards. But we had it slotted that we were taking a goalie with this pick, and Nathaniel was the best one available, and we're excited that he's a Flint Firebird.
The Flint Firebirds select Owen Pitters from the Detroit CompuWare 15s.
Well, when it comes to Owen, we're very fortunate. Greg Steffen is our goaltending coach here with the Flint Firebirds, and he also is a coach in the CompuWare youth hockey program. And Owen played for Greg last year. And so Greg had an opportunity to watch him on a regular basis. Owen's got some skill, but he's an abrasive player. He's a player that likes to finish his checks. And Greg had nothing but great things to say about his character. And so, Owen wants to be an OHL hockey player. He's fully committed to playing the OHL, and it's his goal to make this team moving forward. And we're hoping that he has a great camp for us.
Flint Firebirds select Nathan Williams from the Chicago Mission 15s.
He's one of the few players that I had an opportunity to watch, because of the pandemic. We weren't able to go up to Canada and watch. So I went down to the U18 World Championship in Texas. And at the same time, USA Hockey was having their national tournament for the U15 group. And so I was able to win and watch Nathan play. And, this was a situation where I came in. I didn't know anything about him before the tournament, but he just kept on coming back to me as a player. And the way he's a solid defenseman. He makes a good first pass coming out of the zone. He's athletic. He's not only is he a very good hockey player, but he's the starting quarterback for his high school football team. And you don't do that unless you're athletic. He comes from a good program. Gino Cavallini is a director of hockey for the Chicago Mission, and had some great visits with Gino in regards to Nate's abilities as a defenseman. So to get him when we did, we felt it was a real blessing. So we'll see where it takes us. When it comes to the draft class, I really, for all of us, for all the general managers, coaches, and the OHL, your office, this is going to be really interesting to see how this draft turns out. Because we weren't able to watch players, I think there's some players that maybe were drafted high. People are going to say, geez, look at me. I all of a sudden, James Petrovsky is available in the second round. I don't know why he fell to the second round, but he did. And so then there's other players that maybe felt that they should have been taken, and their agents felt that he should have been taken much earlier. For example, a fifth round pick probably thought he was going to be taken in the second. But I really think that 2 years from now, we're going to find out what this draft was all about. For us to say that this draft is going to be evaluated on the results that are on the ice this year, I think is very unfair. Not only unfair to the managers, it's unfair to the scouts, and it's unfair to the players. There's going to be guys that we always call them a diamond in the rough. I really believe that this year there's going to be some diamonds in the rough, and we'll be scratching our head and saying, geez, how come we didn't draft that kid? He was available, and he turns out to be a very, very good player in the OHL. So it's going to be an interesting training camp. We've got approximately 2.5 classes that haven't played a game in the OHL. So this is going to be a real interesting year for all of us.